What's up, boys and girls? This is Spit Logic, and today I want to make some clarifications. Maybe I'll be making some contractions of some previous statements, but really I want to talk about this 5.0 update that just came for the SP44 Mark II. Now, in the previous video, my initial response was that I was very unimpressed with what Roland rolled out. Specifically, that the entire video was focused on the interaction between Serato DJ Pro as well as Serato Studio. And even though Serato was not the only thing that was part of that 5.0 update, that was the only thing that was essentially showcased, as part of ushering in that 5.0. And even though I was initially disappointed with what I saw, that does not negate the fact that this partnership with Serato is, to me, a really important step for Roland. With all the updates that have been going on with the SP44 Mark II, specifically if you look back at the 4.04 update, they included the Koala app and integrated that holistically with the Mark II. In addition, now they have Serato. And we're not, even though it was focused on the DJ mode for Serato, it also included Serato Studio, which is a beat making program. I look at the SP44 Mark II as a tool. In reality, it is a DAW-like device that is missing key features to fully make it a DAW in the box, similar to the MPC. But you look at Koala, you look at Serato, and what you can say is if the SP44 Mark II is the firmware or the software that drives that device, then Serato and Koala are plugins that enhance the features of the Mark II. I think that as they refine the 5.0 update, what you're going to see is them incorporating more seamlessly that Serato and that SP44 Mark II feature. Additionally, what I would like to see and what I theorize is going to be happening, and again, this goes back to a previous theory that I had before, that Roland is looking at creating a competitor for the MPC. So right now they're gathering the tools, they're gathering the licenses, they're gathering the digital capabilities that they need to have in order to not only improve upon what the SP44 Mark II does, but also to take some of those key features, those key capabilities, and to harness that into the DAW making machine. Out of all of the talk of the Serato integration, the one thing that stuck out to me the most was the incorporation of the stems. So despite how I felt about the video overall and the lack of diversity in the new updates for the SP44 Mark II, one thing that I was very happy to see and was very keenly interested in was the stems feature that Serato does. In my opinion, Serato does it the best. The ability to extract from a singular piece of music the drums, the vocals, the melody, and just create something out of that, strip it down to kind of those raw components. That's the true meaning of when we're talking about the stems in a song. I think what they do with the stems now in Serato is really good for DJing, for remixing, for blending and mixing. But if you are a beat maker, specifically with the SP44 Mark II, primarily when you are beat making, it's about the sample. It's about what sounds you can integrate into the Mark II and manipulate those in that way. My theory and my desire is that that stem feature will be something intricate into either the SP44 Mark II as we get further along into the updates, into this 5.0 era, or what we'll probably see is that when Roland does come out with its competitor, that Serato application, the Serato Studio, becomes a plugin and you can take in samples and then strip them by the stems. I wasn't necessarily excited when I saw an entire 5.0 update solely focused on Serato, but I do think and I want to believe that Roland is up to something a little bit larger. They are up to creating the ultimate sample machine that isn't completely reliant on taking the raw samples, but extracting elements of those samples for your beat making. But I'd be curious from your perspective. Do you feel like the integration of Serato, do you think it was purely targeted on improving the DJ mode, or do you think that Roland has a larger plan at hand? I've always made the assumption that Roland is looking towards making something that can compete with the MPC. And that device is going to be based on the SP44 Mark II in some form or fashion, whether they create some sort of docking station with the Mark II or they re-release something like the 555 or the 606 and they make that into an MPC-like competitor. As always, I thank you for the view. I thank you for the listen. And until next time, peace.